Hello, I'm Joshua Farnsworth, and welcome to my traditional woodworking school here in Earlysville, Virginia. In this video, Will Myers will show what kind of hand tools you need for making a traditional candle stand or shaker table.
Very quickly, first off, let's talk a little bit about some of the tools you'll need. A lot of this you don't have to have. I know this looks like a huge pile, and I don't want you to go out and buy them all, because there's ways around a lot of them. I'm kind of trying to show some options here eventually as we go along, and there'll be also a list of these on the website at woodenshop.com. So no use to take notes here. But just quickly, a few saws. Coping saw, you can do this pretty much this whole project as far as the curves, sawing out the legs and the top with a coping saw, and we'll talk more about it. This is a wooden frame bow saw called a Holdfast bow saw. Bill Anderson found this saw and does a class on it. And a dovetail saw of some kind. This, about the only stipulation here, you just need something fairly fine tooth. As you'll see, we'll actually be sawing kind of backwards into the grain on the spindle. So a coarser tooth saw, a little harder to use. So some kind of dovetail saw. I've got a combination square here, and I'll jump down a little bit. I've got a bevel and a tri-square. When we get down to the little spider on the bottom of the table, we'll need some files and tin snips, and I've also got a rasp sitting here. We won't use it very much, but anyway, planes, kind of the standard setup: a joiner, jack, and a smoothing plane. You'll probably use a block plane more than anything else. So that's the most used one. Also have a shoulder plane sitting here. This will be a kind of optional tool we'll talk more about as we go along. Holdfast for your bench. At least one would be good. Chisels. These are kind of, as you can see, kind of a little bit longer chisels. And these are all vintage, older ones. And these are around, especially the 1/2 and 3/8 turn up a lot at antique shops. If you see one, pick them up. On this project, it's nice to have the little bit longer ones. And I also have one, it's an Incannel gouge. We'll talk a little more about it. That's kind of optional. And then here's a couple of just regular bench chisels. If this is what you've got, this would be fine, they'll work. But the longer ones just work a little better. Measuring tools. Just a folding rule there, little angle gauge, pencils. This little tool that I made to lay out the sliding dovetails, we will actually make this, and this is another little layout tool I'll show you here shortly. Cutting gauge, you definitely want one of these for this project, works real well. And this is one I actually made, so that's another thing. Option. Hammer, a little pair of wire cutters, a screwdriver or two is good. You see I've got several pairs of dividers here. If you only have one, kind of a compass with a pencil is the best one to have. But I also have a set of outside calipers we'll be using on the lathe, and there's actually some more turning tools with the lathe we'll talk about when we get to that point. An awl of some kind, little marking knife, brace and bit. Really only need really one brace to be fine. And a couple of bits, a 1/2 inch and a 1 inch. Work real well. A little egg beater drill, mallet, And down here at the end, I have spokeshaves, and I have several laid out. You don't need this many. You can really get by with just two, but you need one that's flat on the bottom, and you'll need one that's curved. Now, these are iron, older vintage Stanley ones, and I've actually, these are with the adjuster screws are 151, 152. They're very common, and good chance you already have it. This curved one though, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later too, I actually filed this curve into this one. It was, as far as I know, well, the ones with the screw adjusters were all flat bottomed. And here is a modern Stanley. If you can't find an old one, these old ones, $30, $40 most time, sometimes cheaper at an antique store. These are like a little over 20. And it will work. You can, this one I've tuned up, flattened. You're gonna have to spend a little time on it, but you can make it work okay for 20 bucks, And it can also be rounded. This one's flat. And talking about time spent on them, these, you're gonna spend 45 minutes or an hour tuning one of these up too, an old one, but usually. Here are some modern, here's a Lee Nielsen and a Veritas. I really like on this table, you're doing a lot of in-grain shaving, and the fine adjustments you can get with the little adjuster screws are nice. So a lot of things you read, they call 151 like a beginner spokeshave. So I guess I'm still a beginner. I like it. These, like the Lee Nielsen, you have to tap to adjust. These are wonderful tools. Quite a bit more money though. And the Veritas actually has the little screw adjusters. They're again a little more expensive. So. And one other option, and these turn up, at least in my part of the world, pretty regularly, these wooden ones. And they can actually do flats and rounds, most of them, but the biggest negative to them is they wear, and they can be fixed. You can glue in a little repair piece here and reshape it. But I generally just use them the way they are. You can still get a fine cut on the edges and a heavy cut in the middle. And here's just a slightly larger one. But I kind of use a combination of these because I've got them. But if you don't have them, don't go out and buy 10 to make one table. You can get by, like I said, basically we need one that can go flat and one that can do a curve. And then last here is just a card scraper, nothing special. And that's most of what we'll be using. And like I said, as we go along, I'll talk more about these and what you need and what you don't, and options on some of it.
If you're interested in learning traditional woodworking, come take a class at our school in Earlysville, Virginia. You can also visit our website at woodandshop.com, where you'll find a bunch of free woodworking lessons, workshop tours, and our very popular tool buying guides. And make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter to get our latest articles and videos. Enjoy!